tako èyíkéyìí ẹ̀yà egbògi olóró bíi ugbó ògìgò òyìnbó tramadol rafnol codeine àti òmùrìn bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ́kọ́rọ́ ìṣẹ̀mí ẹlẹ́lẹ́ kúkúrú. yàrá tí o ní ojú ọ̀la rẹ ṣe pàtàkì kún ẹbí rẹ àwùjọ kọ ẹ̀yà àtúwọ́ ti kára rẹ gan. bẹ́ẹ̀ lù pínlẹ̀ rẹ Èkìtì. ó ní ìlà akitiyan ọjọ́ iwájú rẹ kò ṣeé tọ́ka sí. àjọ NDLEA ní ṣàgbéǹde ètò kọ̀ọ̀kan pè ní war against drug abuse wádà òwòkọ̀ bá ti yá tẹ̀bá ádìwọ̀ líkírí mọ́ ń jẹ́.
egbògi olóró yìí ṣe nǹkan rẹ̀ ẹ jáwọ́ nú ẹ̀.
ẹ̀jẹ̀ máa bá wọn sọ kí wọ́n má ṣe hùwà ìbàjẹ́ mọ́.
àjọ tí ń gbógun ti egbògi olóró ẹ̀ka ti ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì ń fi àkókò yìí fọ rere sí gbogbo ọmọ ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì lọ́mọdé lágbà lọ́kùnrin lóbìnrin wípé ẹ yàgò fún lílò títà tàbí gbígbìn egbògi olóró bíi igbó tramadol rafnol codeine mọ́kìtè àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. igbó mímu a máa yani ní wèrè tàbí kó rán ni lọ sẹ́wọ̀n bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ó lè ṣekú pa ọ́. bákan náà là ń rọ gbogbo ọba aláyé ìjòyè àti gbogbo ọmọ onílẹ̀ ẹ jẹ́ kí ẹ yàgò láti máa yọ̀ǹda ilẹ̀ wa fún àwọn karambání ẹ̀dá tí ń fi gbogbo ilẹ̀ wa ṣe igbó gbígbìn. ẹ rí i dájú pé ẹ ṣàbójútó ẹnikẹ́ni tí ẹ bá fún nílẹ̀ ẹni gbépo lájà àti ẹni tó gbà á lẹ̀ ọ̀daràn làwọn méjèèjì. àwa fi ń tó yín létí pé àjọ NDLEA ti ṣàgbéǹde ètò kan tí a mọ̀ sí war against drug abuse wádà ẹnikẹ́ni tí ọwọ́ bá tẹ̀ yóò fi mú kàtà òfin gbé ìgbé àlàáfíà yàgò fún egbògi olóró. àjọ NDLEA Èkìtì State Command lolùkéde.
Hello and good morning to you, Ekiti Kite. It's another beautiful Tuesday morning to welcome you on the program NDLEA Wada Half Hour right here on Midas Radio 90.5 FM at Ekiti. But before we get to what we do on this program for today, I want to especially wish you and celebrate every Nigerian out there. Today is Nigeria's 64th independence anniversary and Ekiti State 28th anniversary. I want to wish us all a happy Independence Day. Maybe you are right there, you're listening and you're thinking, what is there to celebrate? I tell you, when there is life, there is hope. And we can always still play our role. Some things can change positively. And when we are still alive while we are here, it means that we can make an impact on our environment. Let me ask you this morning, what has been your own role to contribute to the success and the beautiful things that people around you enjoy as true Nigerians? As your fellow statesman, your fellow citizen in the country, what are the roles that you have played to impact others? If you haven't started, it is a day to remind you that it is not just the government that have roles to play. As individuals, we can collectively make our lives better. Once again, I say good morning to you and welcome on NDLEA Wada Half Hour right here on Midas Radio 90.5 FM at Ekiti. My name is Oluwa Shegun Adeleke. They call me the media health advocate. Today, we will be focusing on the role of traditional and religious leaders, traditional institutions, religious institutions, traditional leaders, religious leaders in controlling substance abuse in our community. A very big thanks to Kayode Adamolekun for sponsoring this program to ensure that the community, the people in Ekiti State and beyond, stay connected and have information on how to prevent and manage substance abuse around them. Doing this will prevent all of the consequences that come as a result of substance and drug abuse in our community. And of course, we will lead better lives and enjoy better society. Our guests are seated this morning from NDLEA Ekiti State Command. Let me introduce very quickly our guests. They are familiar faces and people that you have been interacting when it comes to drug sensitization. Don't forget, the role of the NDLEA is majorly divided into two. The first is what we call the drugs demand reduction and drugs supply reduction. They have been doing that, and we are here to do that together again this morning. Let me introduce them very quickly. Officer Balogun Musa Adiola. He is the Deputy Commander of Narcotics and the head of Drug Demand Reduction Department in Ekiti State, NDLEA. Ẹ káàárọ̀ sà o, ẹ kú ìyálẹ̀ta, ẹ bá wa kí àwọn ará ilé ní kíákíá.
Ẹ káàárọ̀ gbogbo ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa, a kú ọdún òmìnira tá a ṣe lónìí. Àdúrà mi ni pé Nàìjíríà máa lọ wájú ni o, àní rẹ̀yìn.
Àmín. Ẹ ṣeun gan ni, ẹ jẹ́ kí n kí ẹnìkejì wọn tó yẹ pé wọ́n jọ máa ń wádìí ní gbogbo àti wọ́n jẹ́ PRO NDLEA State Command tí wọ́n tún wá jẹ́ Assistant Superintendent of Narcotics ní NDLEA State Command, Officer Ifeoluwa Fabiyi. A very good morning to you and happy Independence Day to you.
Good morning to you, my brother. Happy Independence Day to you.
All right, let us get to what we have for today. No doubt that traditional and religious institutions have some roles to play when it comes to drug demand reduction, drug supply reduction, and have to collaborate with various agencies to ensure that our society stays drug-free. Ohun tí mo ń try láti sọ ni wípé kò sí rọ́ńbẹ̀ wípé gbogbo wa pátápátá la ní ojúṣe, la ní ipa láti kó láti rí i pé a ní agbègbè pé kò sí lílò oògùn olóró tàbí àṣìlò oògùn ní ọ̀nà tí ẹ̀ bá fi farahàn. Ṣùgbọ́n jẹ́ kí n kọ́kọ́ bi yín báyìí, when we say traditional and religious institutions, àwọn wo gangan là ń mẹ́nubà? Ẹ jẹ́ kí n darí ìbéèrè yẹn sọ́dọ̀ Officer Balogun Adiola. When we say traditional and religious institutions, who? Àwọn wo gangan lọ̀rọ̀ kàn?
Ẹ ṣé olótú, gẹ́gẹ́ bí a ṣe máa ń sọ lórí ètò ní gbogbo ìgbà pé gbogbo wa pátápátá la ní ojúṣe láti ṣe. Gbogbo wa tá à ń pera wa ní all of us are stakeholders ní àti bá nǹkan tí ò dá láwùjọ tá à ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ẹ̀ ní gbogbo ìgbà yìí láti dẹ́kun kó ńlẹ̀ pátápátá tí ò bá tẹ̀lé pátápátá ká gbé wálẹ̀ pátápátá tó jẹ́ pé àní lè rí traces pé àwọn èèyàn ń ṣe mọ́. Gẹ́gẹ́ bá a sọ àwọn stakeholders wa pọ̀ lóríṣiríṣi, but most importantly ní ibi tá a fẹ́ sọ lónìí, àwọn olórí ìlú, àwọn traditional institutions, àwọn ọba ìjòyè wa àti àwọn olórí ẹ̀sìn. We are talking of Obas, the emirs, the chiefs. Torí a ní àwọn olùgbé ṣe pé bóyá àwọn ìjòyè for now ló ń rúlu bẹ̀. Then tá a bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ religion, à ń sọ̀rọ̀ bíi pastor, imams, the traditional, àwọn bàbá àwọn oní ti ẹ̀sìn ìbílẹ̀ wa, àwọn ẹlẹ́sìn mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta tí a mọ̀ tí táwọn náà ní ipa gidigidi torí I believe pé wọ́n máa ní èrò tó pọ̀ lẹ́yìn. Àwọn èèyàn dẹ̀ fún ọ ní full respect, ọ̀wọ̀, wọ́n máa ń fún ọ lọ́wọ́ tó jẹ́ pé ìsọ̀rọ̀ wọn nínú àwùjọ ọ nínú ìjọ wọn ó nípa ribiribi tó kó. Tí wọ́n bá báwọn èèyàn sọ̀rọ̀, they believe in them and wọ́n dẹ̀ believe pé èèyàn Ọlọ́run àti ẹni tó lè báwọn èèyàn sọ̀rọ̀. So ìdí ẹ̀ la fi kàn fún one of the important stakeholders tó jẹ́ pé táwọn náà bá wa fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ tí wọ́n bá wa báwọn èèyàn sọ̀rọ̀, a lè rí solutions sí problem tá a sọ̀rọ̀.
Shungo, thank you very much, Officer Adiola, who is the head of is right there working with the NDLEA and is Deputy Commander of Narcotics and the head of Drug Demand Reduction Department in NDLEA Ekiti State Command. Let me come to Officer Ifeoluwa Fabiyi, this one who's the PRO. Now, he has been able to tell us those persons that are particularly involved when we say traditional institutions and religious institutions. But mo wípé tí a bá dárúkọ àwọn èyí àfi àwọn tó yẹ pé wọ́n ṣe ẹlẹ́sìn kankan nìkan lọ sọ pé wọ́n ṣe religious institution. Ṣùgbọ́n lọ́nà kan àbí òmíì ó ní ipa tá à ń kó láti jẹ́ wípé a jẹ́ adarí níbikíbi tí a bá bá ara wa. Now let's talk about these particular roles. Is there a particular responsibility or role that you expect from these set of persons because of their influence in the society? Or is there some way it is written in the constitution that, okay, this is what you have to do to ensure that we reduce substance abuse, we control substance abuse in our communities? What are these roles that we are talking about?
Thank you, Mr. Adeleke. Like my boss rightly said earlier, the job of substance abuse control in our society cannot be done by NDLA alone. It must be a collective effort of everyone, stakeholders, religious leaders, traditional leaders, and other well-wishers in the society. Now, there is what is called community participation in substance abuse control in our work. And when we are talking about community, who are the people that make up the community? We are talking about traditional leaders. We are talking about heads of institutions. We are talking about family heads. We are talking about chiefs in the community. So some of the roles we expect them to play in the fight against substance abuse is, number one, Nigeria is a deeply religious society. Like you said, there is nobody you come across now that will not belong to one of the three major.
Maybe there is hardly someone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That will not belong to one of the three major religions.
Because I know someone,
Okay.
but it's just one in a million.
Oh, exactly.
Or in 100.
That person is an exception. That will not belong to one of the three major religions in the country. Now, our religious leader with a lot of influence over them. If we go out to these people and speak to them, yes, we'll pass the message. But if they hear it from people whom they respect, if they hear it from people whom they submit to, it tends to carry a lot of weight. Because the kind of influence they wield, it will make them, it will look like they are endorsing the message of no to substance abuse. So the people under them, their followers, tend to receive it more with an open heart than when they are hearing it from our own end. So for religious leaders, we expect them to use their platform, in which they have been doing. Many of them have collaborated with us. We have been to almost all the mosques within this, from our office to Adebayo to Afao side and to a lot of churches. So we expect them to use their platform to preach against this thing. We expect them to use their influence to leverage all the support that is necessary for people that they know who are abusing these things so that they can get help. And in our communities, going to our traditional leaders, our traditional leaders, we see them as the mouthpiece of the gods, quote and unquote. We expect them to also speak against substance abuse in a strong term in their local communities. If they make the community unconducive for illicit substance abuse activity, you find that would have solved the problem to a large extent. So we expect them to use their platform, and we also expect them to put in place programs, create platforms and forums where NDLA personnel can come around to engage them. My Oga has led us to a lot of palaces in this Ado, across the 16 local government in the state, where we have met with the traditional leaders from all the major towns of the state. And we speak with these people, and you see some of them will even volunteer information. That is another thing we expect them to do. If they see people who are dealing in substance, who are committing drug-related offenses in their community, they should volunteer information to NDLEA so that we can move in and do our work. And we, like I always say on this program, confidentiality is assured. Nobody is going to disclose the identity of who gives information. So those are some of the roles we are expecting from our stakeholders.
All right, thank you very much, Officer Ife. If you're just joining us, this is NDLE What a Half Hour right here on Midas Radio 90.5 FM at Duikti. And this morning, we are looking at the roles of traditional and religious institutions in controlling substance abuse in our community. Láti ẹnu PRO NDLEA command náà ni ẹ ti gbọ́ àwọn tí wọ́n mẹ́mbà tó ń sìn wípé tí a bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ojúṣe àwọn adarí ẹlẹ́sìn àti adarí agbègbè àbí gbogbo àwọn ìlú káàkiri tó fi mọ́ àwọn kábíyèsí, àwọn ọba, àwọn ìjòyè, àwọn baálẹ̀, àwọn olóyè káàkiri àti àwọn adarí ẹ̀sìn, ó ní ṣe pẹ̀lú deep community religious community participation. Ìyẹn ni alákọ̀ọ́kọ́, nítorí pé àwọn èèyàn tí a mẹ́nubà yìí gbogbo wa pátápátá wà ní agbègbè ló yẹ pé a máa ń bu ọlá fún àwọn religious leader yìí. We give them the respect and we submit to them because of their influence. The NDLE expects them to use their influence to get support for people who need help. àwọn èèyàn kì í sábà gbọ́lé nítorí pé wọ́n máa ń rò pé report náà ni ṣùgbọ́n tí ó bá yẹ pé ẹ ní àwọn èèyàn ní agbègbè tó yẹ pé wọ́n nílò ìrànlọ́wọ́ nípa bí àwọn kojú àwọn ìpèníjà tó ní ṣe pẹ̀lú ohun tí ìjàmbá àṣìlò oògùn substance abuse tó mú wá tẹ́ bá wà ní agbègbè yín, the NDLEA expects that you can voice their concerns to the agency so that they can send necessary reinforcement to help your community when you're in that kind of need. Wọ́n dẹ̀ fẹ́ kí ẹ̀yin náà fi àǹfààní yẹn jẹ oyè ojúlọ́lá kan fi ń ṣọ́rí to be whistleblowers when you discover drug-related activities in your community. If you have not been doing this, I want to ask you to please involve in this morning. They also expect you to be source of quality information to your community members and also create avenue for the agency, for men of the agency to come and interact with your community, just to mention a few this morning. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n wá sí ọ̀dọ̀ Officer Musa Adiola tí wọ́n jẹ́ Head of Drug Demand Reduction NDLEA State Command. Nígbà tí a ti mẹ́nu bà àwọn ojúṣe wọ̀nyí ní ráńpẹ́, ẹ má gbàgbé wípé ẹ lè darapọ̀ wọn lójú òpó Facebook wa lórí Midas Radio 905. Ètò tó ń fún wa ní ìmọ̀ àti ìṣíníyè ìtanilólobó nípa drug-related activities àti drug and substance abuse ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì ní ètò NDLEA WADA half hour lórí Midas Radio tí Káyọ̀dé Adámọ̀lẹ́kùn Foundation tí wọ́n ṣe onígbọ̀wọ́ ẹ̀. Now let me come to Officer Adiola. In your experience, níbi ẹ ti ṣe ń ṣiṣẹ́ ní ìpínlẹ̀ tí mo pé tó tó bí ọjọ́ mẹ́ta báyìí, kí ni àwọn ìpèníjà ṣe wípé àwọn èèyàn máa ń ní àwọn agbègbè àti ìgbèríko tí kì í jẹ́ kí wọ́n lè ṣe ìrànlọ́wọ́ tó tó fún àjọ NDLEA látàrí wípé àwọn náà ṣe ojúṣe wọn gẹ́gẹ́ bí community and religious leaders?
Okay, thank you very much. Inú mi dùn pé ẹ porúkọ ẹnìkan sí Káyọ̀dé Adámọ̀lẹ́kùn, is a very young man. Bá rí ribiribi tó ti ń ṣe lórí ọ̀rọ̀ pé oògùn olóró iṣẹ́ òun fẹ́ join NDLEA láti gbógun tì. Ó ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti bí ọdún mẹ́rin tá a ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí kò relent rárá, ṣe pé ó ti kópa tiẹ̀ ó dẹ̀ ń ṣe ribiribi. Tẹ́ bá dé local government ẹ̀ náà ní gbogbo bíi last year ó introduce drug nìkan fún bọ́ alọ́bẹ̀ tó jẹ́ pé fáwọn èèyàn ní àwọ̀ ọ̀dọ́ ti gbàngbàn adult schools. Ó dẹ̀ tún plan kan lọ́wọ́ báyìí báwọn ọmọ bá ti wọlé nsìn ó tún fẹ́ ṣe the same thing, fẹ́ lọ dá drug free clubs sílẹ̀ sí schools, ṣe pé ẹni yẹn ó sojú sí ẹ̀. Mò ń bọ̀ wá bí challenges tẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀. Then last 2 weeks ó dà pé commander àti deputy wọ́n wá bí tí wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ nípa Ìṣẹ̀ area ní Èkìtì gbà kan tẹ́ bá ti ní igbó tẹ́ bá gbé igbó wà ní Ìṣẹ̀. The community now rose up now pé kíní Ìṣẹ̀ àfẹ́ will not allow it. And in the last 2 years àbí last year we were there nínú reserve wọn gbẹ̀ síbẹ̀. Àwa lè NDLEA may not be aware of that. Torí tí wọ́n lọ gbẹ̀ ṣe á jìnnà tábàdẹ̀ fún ààrẹ tó fún wa ní information. I'm not from Ìṣẹ̀ mi ìdínú gbóyè rí àdẹ̀ lọ́bẹ̀ rí. So kí tẹ́yà àwọn aráàlú bá fún wa ní information gbé náà ti fún no, but they got the information. Àwọn tó lọ nígbó yẹn wọ́n rí wọ́n pariwo síta wọ́n dọ́dọ̀ kábíyèsí some of the prominent citizens di tán wọ́n rose up alọ́bẹ̀ tó yẹ pé bí ọdún alọ́bẹ̀ bí ẹ̀mẹ́ta lọ́dún jẹ́ pé wọ́n make sure pé a clear gbogbo yẹn ṣàpè tí yóò bá ṣe pé bóyá kégbàjarè táwọn náà dìde that thing may still be there and it find its way into the town. Àjẹ́ pé gbogbo effort wa. So àwọn challenges tá a ní náà ni pé problem will power to do something within the community. Kí ni ẹ jẹ́ ká gbogbo wa ẹlòmíì gan ó lè rí báyẹn kó kàn sọjú pé kò sí tó kàn mí. So ara challenge àkọ́kọ́ ni pé àmọ́ bí wọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà ṣe rí gbogbo wa kò kàn mí àdẹ́dọ̀ dìde yóò padà wá kan ọlọ́mọdéjáde bí ò kan yóò kára lé bí ò kára lé yóò kan. Mo rí ìlú kan nísìn tó jẹ́ pé I travelled recently to my village. A sọ pé àwọn aráàlú wọn gbìyànjú ṣùgbọ́n most of them àwọn mi ò lè lóko mọ́ lára wọn sìn kò tó kàn mí wọn ò kú dọ́dọ̀ mi ó kan gbòòlù níṣẹ́ àbí òkan ó ti ń jẹ́ kó jẹ wọ́n lérí àdó wa sì jẹ́ pé tẹ́lẹ̀ food are very cheap few people are going to farm ẹ̀ta àwọn aráàlú tí a dìde ní ti pé ní ìṣe we must stop it. Wọ́n gbé àwọn ọmọ kéèké dìde wọ́n gbé àwọn ọlọ́dẹ dìde pé wọ́n ń lọ núgbó yẹn wọ́n ń ṣe gbẹ̀nsìn. So a bá ti rí problem láàrin ìlú tó yẹ pé ó ń dààmú àwọn youth or the society in general tí gbogbo àtàwọn lè ní that will power one àti aṣọ àwọn èèyàn gẹ́gẹ́ bó ṣe sọ́ọ̀sì lọ́fíìsà mi ṣe sọ we guarantee tó tá a bá dé ìlú kan tá a bá lọ bá àwọn ọba tá a bá àwọn jòyè wa ní ẹ̀rú bà wá náà ni nǹkan máa porúkọ wa ọ̀kan máa káwọn èèyàn máa wá come back to them and we always assure them pé that confidentiality protection of our informants is very key to us and it's very we take it seriously. So because if we continue to our officers, I'm not saying 100%, but at least 80 or 90% we are trying not to do that. Because when you do that, you know the implication and you have conscience. When you do that, that means you are it's very information big and it's killing the job. So we don't want to kill our job and add the implication to both to yourself and the community and the person that gives you the information. So we are very sensitive about that. And I assure our around then kí wí ìpayà wà yẹn gẹ́gẹ́ bá a ṣe ń sọ kó wà ń bẹ̀ pé kí ni mo fẹ́ ṣe for my community láti ran ìwọ̀nba tèmi náà bá kó irú bàbá ẹni tó sponsor bí ìwà ikú sponsor program nísìnyí we no be here àwọn èèyàn ní mọ̀ gbọ́ wa tábàárẹ̀ èèyàn bíi méjì mẹ́ta báyẹn ọ̀mẹ́rin lẹ́kìtì because we have them. I have worked in Lagos mo ti ṣiṣẹ́ ní airport I met a lot of Ekiti people that are well to do let us come back home and give back to our community. Bàtà wà lè ṣe ẹ lè dá NGO àti níbi méjì mẹ́ta mẹ́rin àmọ́ pé owó náà ní gbogbo ẹ̀bẹ̀ tí wọ́n bá will power to do something within the community láàrin àwọn ọba pé ọba ìṣẹ́ lọ́dún níṣẹ́ I will not allow this thing in my town or in my village táwọn chief náà ti gbọ́n jọ sọ wọ́n pọ̀ this thing we not allow it.
So ẹ jẹ́ kí n wá sí ọ̀dọ̀ PRO ní kíákíá kí a tó dé òdì kejì tí a máa padà wá láti wá sọ wípé tọ́ ó tó di ọ̀sẹ̀ tó ń bọ̀ lórí ètò ní kíákíá kí ni akitiyan àbí báwo ni ẹ ṣe lè ṣe òṣùwọ̀n akitiyan àwọn adarí ẹ̀sìn àti adarí agbègbè káàkiri ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì nípa bí a ṣe ń fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ pẹ̀lú àjọ NDLEA láti rí i pé aṣẹ́gun ìwà ìbàjẹ́ lílò oògùn olóró àti àṣìlò oògùn àbí lílò oògùn lọ́nà àìtọ́ ní agbègbè wa. What has been the progress? What has been the improvement that you have recorded over the years?
My experience over the years in Ekiti has been a positive one. Very, very positive. They have been very, very, very supportive. The traditional leaders, the religious leaders in the state are very, very supportive. In fact, there are some of them that will even go extra mile in volunteering information. After maybe the organized program, I've gone there to honor their invitation. They volunteer information in the process. A lot of traditional institutions, traditional leaders in the state have collaborated with us. In the process, we've made a lot of arrests. So they have been very, and when it comes to the religious leaders as well, in fact, there are some religious leaders that will even go extra mile in having their own radio program and invite us to come and speak on their radio program.
Wow.
That shows how committed and dedicated they are to the issue of drug. So now what we are expecting is more people to come forward. Like my guy said, this program is sponsored by an NGO. If you have like 2 or 3 other NGOs that will do this same thing in Ekiti State, it will help to bring the issue of drug abuse in the state to the barest minimum. So we are expecting more people to come forward, more NGOs, more stakeholders to support the work of NDLEA, especially in the area of drug abuse.
All right. Because of time, let us get to the other side, and when we come back, we come to wrap up on the program this morning. This is NDLEA Wada Half Hour on Midas Radio 90.5 FM, proudly sponsored by Kayode Damolekun Foundation. When we come back, we will be saying that BY is on the show for the day.
Egbògi olóró yìí ṣe nǹkan rẹ̀ ẹ jáwọ́ nú ẹ̀.
Ẹ̀jẹ̀ máa bá wọn sọ, kí wọ́n má ṣe hùwà ìbàjẹ́ mọ́.
Àjọ tí ń gbógun ti egbògi olóró ẹ̀ka ti ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì ń fi àkókò yìí fọ rere sí gbogbo ọmọ ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì lọ́mọdé lágbà lọ́kùnrin lóbìnrin wípé ẹ yàgò fún lílò títà tàbí gbígbìn egbògi olóró bíi igbó tramadol rafnol codeine monkite àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Igbó mímu a máa yani ní wèrè tàbí kó rán ni lọ sẹ́wọ̀n bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ó lè ṣekú pa ọ́. Bákan náà là ń rọ gbogbo ọba aláyé ìjòyè àti gbogbo ọmọ onílẹ̀ ẹ jẹ́ kí ẹ yàgò láti máa yọ̀ǹda ilẹ̀ wa fún àwọn karambà ní ẹ̀dá tí ń fi gbogbo ilẹ̀ wa ṣe igbó gbígbìn. Ẹ rí i dájú dájú pé ẹ ṣàbójútó ẹnikẹ́ni tí ẹ bá fún nílẹ̀ ẹni gbépo lájà àti ẹni tó gbà á lẹ̀ ọ̀daràn làwọn méjèèjì. àwa fi ń tó yín létí pé àjọ NDLEA ti ṣàgbéǹde ètò kan tí a mọ̀ sí War Against Drug Abuse. wádà ẹnikẹ́ni tí ọwọ́ bá tẹ̀ yóò fi mú kàtà òfin dé ìgbé àlàáfíà yàgò fún egbòogi olóró. àjọ NDLEA Èkìtì State Command lolùkéde.
ẹ káàbọ̀ padà sórí ètò NDLEA wada half hour lórí Midas Radio 90.5 FM Àdó Èkìtì. òun náà ni ẹ ti gbọ́ lórí ètò láàárọ̀ wípé oríṣiríṣi ojúṣe ni àwọn adarí ẹ̀sìn, adarí agbègbè, adarí ìlú lọ́lọ́kan ọ̀jọ̀kan ní láti rí i pé àjọ ṣẹ́gun ìwà lílo tàbí lílo oògùn olóró tàbí lílo oògùn lọ́nà àìtọ́ ní agbègbè wa láti ní ohun tí a ń pè ní drug demand reduction tó wà ní BEREST àti drug supply reduction. tó wáyé pé ẹ̀yin ò wá mọ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ wípé lára ohun tí ẹ lè ṣe gẹ́gẹ́ bí adarí ẹ̀sìn tàbí adarí ìlú ni wípé ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ lo will power yín. yẹn ni wípé ohun tí a fẹ́ leléyìí láti rí i pé agbègbè wa kò ní sí àǹfààní tàbí àyè fún ìwà ìbàjẹ́ àbí drug related activities ní agbègbè wa. You can also use your influence to seek support for people who need help when it comes to substance and drug abuse. You should also use your platform to create avenue for dialogue between the agency and the people in your community. Use your influence to promote drug sensitization and not tolerate drug-related activities in your domain. In 10 seconds each, ẹ bá wa kí àwọn ará lé pé a kú ayẹyẹ independence lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí níbi àṣẹ ń jáde. Ọ́físà Adéọlá ní kíákíá.
ẹ ṣe wo olóòtú a kí gbogbo àwọn èèyàn wa pé a kú ọdún òmìnira tá à ń ṣe lónìí. àdúrà wa ni pé àwùjọ wa gbogbo ìwà àbàjẹ́ kọ̀ọ̀kan láti tó wà tó pọ̀ lọ́rẹ́kẹtẹ Ọlọ́run bá wa ṣẹ́gun ẹ̀.
ẹ ṣeun wọn ni. Very quickly in 10 seconds, sir.
While we are celebrating Independence Day, let's do it without drug. Let's stay drug free.
All right, we come to the end of the show for this morning NDLEA Wada half hour right here on Midas Radio 90.5 FM. We'll come back next week, Tuesday at 11:30. My name is Oluwasegun Adeleke. Call me the media health advocate, and I'm saying thank you for listening and bye for now.